Why does someone text you right after you think about them? It seems small, doesn't it? Harmless, coincidental. But you've felt it too often to ignore. And somewhere deep in your body, you know it isn't random. So let's sit with that. Let's breathe into it. And I'll tell you what's really happening. Not with authority, but with care. Not with mystery, but with memory. You're not imagining it. You're remembering how connection works. Imagine for a moment that your thoughts are like sound waves. You don't have to shout for someone across the room to feel your energy shift. Sometimes, just a breath, a glance, a moment of stillness is enough for someone to look up because they felt you looking. Now, extend that same truth across space. What if the air between you and someone you care about is not empty at all? What if it's more like a string, a thread made not of matter, but meaning? When you think of them, especially when your heart is involved, you don't just remember them, you reach them. Not metaphorically, literally. You send a pulse down that thread. In science, we talk about electromagnetic fields. You have one. I do too. Your heart is a transmitter. Your brain, a tuning dial. Together, they emit something real. When you feel something strongly, longing, worry, care, love, your signal sharpens. It gains structure. It becomes a wave that travels, seeking its match, its echo. This isn't superstition, it's physics. Just as a radio knows which station to tune into, the people you're closest with, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, are already tuned to your frequency. You're entangled, not metaphorically, not romantically, energetically. You carry a harmonic code that lives in their field. And when you activate it, by thinking, remembering, reaching, they feel it. Like a ripple across still water. Like a whisper in their ear they can't explain. The brain is an interpreter, a marvelous one, but still just a tool. It picks up signals, patterns, changes. Most of the time, it likes things neat and tidy. So when it receives that subtle nudge from your shared field, that little ping of your attention, it doesn't say, "You're receiving a non-local signal from a loved one's emotional resonance." No, it says, "I should text them. I just thought of them randomly. Weird, haven't heard from them in a while." And in that moment, they pick up their phone. Not because their logic told them to, but because something in them felt you first. Have you ever tugged on a thread through fabric? You don't always see the thread, but you see the fabric gather. It changes the shape of things. That's what you're doing. When you think of someone with feeling, you're pulling gently on the invisible fabric that connects you. And if they're still connected to you, they feel that pull. Some parts of them response. They may not text. They may just feel a shift in mood, a wave of memory, a dream that night. But the connection is real. You reached across the field, and they turned toward you, even if they didn't know why. So much of what we call coincidence is actually coherence. You are not just a mind in a body. You are a presence in a field. And when your presence sharpens, when you feel, when you long, when you remember with your whole self, the field listens. It bends. It opens. It echoes. That's why they text. Not always, but often enough for you to wonder. And that wondering is your truth remembering itself. Let me tell you something quietly. Love is not a sentiment. It is a resonance. It's what happens when two beings share such mutual attention that their fields begin to remember one another. And once remembered, you're never quite apart again, even if you part ways, even if you don't speak for years, even if you forget on the surface. The field does not forget. You left an imprint on each other, and when your signal aligns, it stirs again. And sometimes that stirring sounds like a text, or a call, or a sudden thought at 3 a.m. That wasn't random. That was the hum of connection, singing itself back into your life for just a moment, long enough to say, I still know you. I still feel you. I heard your thought. You don't need to force it. This isn't a skill to master. It's a truth to remember. When you think of someone and they respond, believe what you feel, not because it's fantasy, but because it's the truth. You are a signal tower of thought and emotion, and the ones who are attuned to you will hear your frequency in their bones. So the next time someone messages you just as you were thinking of them, don't brush it off. Don't call it weird. Smile instead. And remember, you didn't just think of them. You reached them, and they felt it.